Heather, and this is my week-by-week pregnancy journal. If you're watching this video because you're expecting, trying to conceive, or just watching for fun, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'd love for you to share your experience this week in the comments section, and definitely any product suggestions or pregnancy tips. Check out the description area for a breakdown of this video if you want to just skip around to a certain topic, or just check how my bump is progressing this week. And I'll also have some links down there of any products that I've really loved since the beginning of pregnancy. This video, we're talking about week 13. Today is actually day 1 of week 14, so I'll let you know how everything went this past week. The baby is about the size of a pea pod, about 3 inches long, or a lemon, and about 0.80 or 0.81 ounces. So we're officially through the first trimester, which is crazy to think that we've made it through a third of pregnancy already. Like, I remember just, a few weeks ago thinking this is gonna take forever, and now we're actually at a point where it felt like it was gonna take a long time to get to, and it's here already. So what's happening in size and development this week? Fingerprints are forming on all of the baby's fingers and toes. Veins and organs are clearly visible through the baby's still thin skin. Body is catching up with his or her head, and if it's a girl, she now has more than 2 million eggs in her ovaries. Little baby, like, that is all already developing, which is nuts. And little tiny vocal cords are now developing. I think they say that, they won't actually start working for another 6 months. How am I feeling physically? I've read at this week that now your uterus is starting to go up and out of your pelvis. So that might explain why I feel like I'm so full and bloated, and I almost feel like I'm starting to see something, but I actually don't feel pregnant yet. I don't feel like I look pregnant yet, but definitely it's pushing things out farther than they used to be. So I'm sure in the weeks to come, since things are moving up and out, I'll have more to show off in, the near future. Symptoms this week, I definitely noticed an increase in gas. Not just letting gas go, just like that gurgling in your lower stomach and letting gas out. And then also, waking up in the morning, I've noticed horrible backaches in my lower back, in both sides or even just one side, to the point where I feel like I want to just turn and do that crack thing and release pressure. But I know that they say you shouldn't really do crazy turning movements, and then you shouldn't be cracking your back anyway. I'm trying not to do that, but that's what I feel like I need to do. And also, my appetite has come back with vengeance, and I just feel like I can eat like a bottomless pit still. So we'll see where that takes me. Indigestion also follows after having those spur of the moment, I want to eat everything, and then I deal with it at night when I'm laying in bed. Also this week, I feel more scatterbrained than normal, and my husband definitely feels that. I've noticed a slight decrease in the urinary frequency, especially at night. Instead of 5 to 6 times at night getting up, it might be 2 to 3. So that's good. Tiredness also has decreased a little bit. Instead of wanting to go to bed by 7:30, now my comfort zone is about 9:30 p.m. We'll see how that continues to go. A little bit more energy, but another thing that I think I've been dealing with more often this week is definitely having dull headaches. I woke up this morning with one, and it just put me out. I woke up early and I just couldn't get out of bed. I took a shower, drank water, did everything. I try not to take medication, so anything that I could do to try and get rid of the headache naturally, I was doing, and it finally went away. It's just kind of a little achy in the front of my head. Blame it on the baby. Also, I've noticed some breathlessness just from maybe talking or doing normal things, and then you feel like you're breathing a little more, trying to catch your breath, or I might even sound like it while I'm talking now, but definitely noticed that. And occasionally when I would cough more recently, I don't know if it's because my bladder may have been full, but I felt like maybe a little pee almost came out, and I'm like, I am definitely not at that point of pregnancy, but I don't know if that starts this early, but I definitely had that feeling. It was like, ooh, do those Kegels. So the tender breast thing has definitely gone away. I don't really feel any tenderness at all. So when I don't have my makeup on, I have noticed a little maybe pregnancy glow. It's just redness around my face and that wasn't really there before. One of my coworkers had said that to me too when I didn't wear makeup to work. She said, oh, your makeup is hiding your pregnancy glow. And I was like, oh, I didn't really even notice that that was something that was happening, but I guess there is a glow going on at this point. Cravings this week. I am still craving vinegar foods, banana peppers, and your occasional sweets too. That's my dog. So occasional sweets, like Now and Laters or Sour Patch Kids or like the Sour Patch watermelons. And I had this really strong craving for Ritas. I don't know if you have Ritas in your area, if you're watching this video from somewhere else, but they have really good custard. And I went to go get custard and walked up to the window. I had to ask my husband, what do you want me to pick you up? He gave me his answer and they said their custard machine was broken. And I was like, no! How am I gonna fill my craving? So I came home and I actually had to go get it the next day. So.
You didn't tell me you got. You didn't get me one?
I got you one the other day.
You didn't give me the gelati.
I'll get you it. I'll get you it
son of a-
tomorrow.
I'm finding out all these answers now.
And I've had this crazy urge to have French toast a lot. Not that I always can fill it, but you know, at work sometimes I know that they make it and I see the patients eating it and I'm like, French toast. But French toast and then maple syrup too. Like anything with maple syrup. This one bagel shop near us has this maple syrup mixed with butter. They call it breakfast butter and they put that on a bagel. So good. So I had some of that butter in the fridge, so I actually put that on a piece of toast one day. That was really good. The other day I had a really strong craving out of nowhere. I was coming home and I was like, we're gonna cook the chicken in the fridge, and then I was like, chicken, and then I drove by a Chick-fil-A and I never eat at Chick-fil-A and I was like, I want Chick-fil-A. I want to see, like, I just knew I wanted it and I called my husband, asked him what he wanted, and we brought it home and it was so good. So crispy, and their waffle fries are amazing. So that happened too. So cravings are definitely starting to kick up where I have to go find what I want and eat it. How has my body changed this week? People at work have definitely noticed that I have a little more of a pooch on the bottom. So I've been measuring my waist and like my underbelly area. Like I took measurements before pregnancy so that I could see how and where I'm growing throughout. I've gained an inch in my waist, like my, small waist. And then under my belly button, I've gained about 2 inches. But everything else is measuring the same or looking the same. So tape measure doesn't lie, I guess. So I'm showing somewhere. And in my photos, like my comparison photos from week 6 when I first started taking photos to now, I could definitely see a little change in my belly. Weight gain this week, still nothing has changed since last week's video. I'm about 2 pounds less than my normal weight, but I guess I've gained 4 pounds since I lost 6. This week on, if you're measuring at a normal weight, like I guess a normal BMI, they say that you should be gaining about 0.8 to 1 pounds per week from now on out until the end of your pregnancy. So major changes should be coming in the near future. According to that, definitely, because a pound a week is definitely significant enough to notice. How am I feeling emotionally this week? Definitely very irritable, and I take back everything I say when I am in one of those irritable moods. It's just like snippiness, and I'm like, this isn't me. The other day, my husband, he's doing all this work around the house. I'll tell you about that a little later, but he wanted to get a new garbage can, and I got so upset saying, you can't get a new garbage can without me. Like, you can't make that decision. And it's like, when you sit and think about it, it's like, that is so dumb. Like, let the man go get a new garbage can. I don't need to be part of every decision, or do I? I do. I think I do. And also the last 2 days I've had some mood swings with crying, crazy little things, but nothing that deserved a cry. But I did. Things we did this week. We announced our pregnancy on social media, which was the #1 thing we wanted to do. Like, I mean, leading up, we told all of our friends and family, and that was like the last thing we had to do to make it publicly known that we're expecting a little bundle of joy. So what we did was we got a diaper, like an adult diaper. I cut a hole in it and I put it on my dog and I bundled him up in it. We laid him on the bed and we put some props around, like baby toys, and my husband had the little clicker for the the camera, and we set it up and took a photo and made like a little movie poster saying, you know, like baby Nikki due September, and just posted that as a photo. I also made a first trimester video that was kind of like a announcement video also. So that was exciting. Now that our pregnancy is public, I started to edit down these videos, all of the things that we've been documenting since week 4 of pregnancy, and we're trying to get them together so that we can post them for everybody to see and just, you know, interact with us and let us know how your pregnancies are going and products and everything that you love and suggestions, tips. Like, I can't wait to get these videos out and then, you know, be part of the YouTube like mommy pregnancy world. As I was going back and editing all these videos, I could definitely see how my emotions have changed throughout. Part of it I had already edited down, but I know like a few of the early videos, I would just start crying in the middle of doing it, and for no reason, just thinking back and talking through the week with my husband. And then it went to me screaming because I thought that the camera couldn't even hear me. So I'm trying to like lower my tone of voice, but it's funny to see the changes, and at some point I guess I'll get it down pat, and maybe one day it won't be a gloomy day and I'll have a bright video again. But it seems every Saturday that we video, it's been not bright outside, so that's why these videos are a little dull. What's comforting to me? Carbs. Definitely always carbs. Carbs are always comforting, and by carbs I mean food carbs, you know, bread, English muffins, bagels, French toast, French fries, anything French. Yeah, I try not to really indulge in that too much, but it's comforting. Comfort food. Thoughts or questions this week? Definitely the thought of finding out the gender next weekend. It blows my mind, and like that gets me emotional also, just thinking, because I think it makes it, I mean, everything I thought was going to make it feel more real, but it, even now, still, like, being pregnant doesn't even feel real. As much as I said, like, after the first ultrasound, it felt more real, and then after the second one, and then, but as time goes by and you're sitting here and nothing's happening, and you don't feel anything, you don't hear anything, you don't see anything, it's just there, and like my belly's not really growing too much, I just have these cravings and this appetite. So it's kind of hard, like you go back to that, like it doesn't even feel real kind of phase on and off. But yeah, gender reveal, we've decided next weekend, so probably 2 weeks from now, I'll do a little video telling you about what gender the baby is. And we talked to my sister-in-law, and she has a party for a St. Patrick's Day parade every year, and we said, well, everybody's gonna be together at that parade, why don't we just do our little gender reveal there? And she said, sure, that's amazing, like we could definitely do that. So that's what we're doing, and hopefully there's not a rain date. If so, then we'll probably do it, you know, on Sunday or something, because I think we'll get our results this upcoming week, and then that next weekend will be the parade. So I don't know how long I'd be able to hold on to that envelope without peeking in it if we don't do it either Saturday or Sunday. I know I talked about one of the shirts that I got in the previous video. It finally came. It says it's not a food baby, and it's in a really cute font, and it's a fitted v-neck shirt, so I'm excited to wear that. I'll probably wear that to the St. Patrick's Day parade. It says, you know, that I'm having a baby, and we're gonna do our gender reveal. Another thing this week, one of my girlfriends surprised me with a personalized onesie, and it is the cutest thing I ever saw. It's so tiny, it's 0 to 3 months, and it has our hashtag on it. Hashtag Gingy Pants. So I can't believe that this little body will be my baby. I can't believe that this little body will be inside of me, because it's not so little. Like, that's a big baby. Like, oh, this makes me happy. Can't wait to put our little Gingy Pants in it. Things we're looking forward to this week. Definitely we talked about finding the gender out, and then starting to work on the nursery is something I'm very excited about. The room is kind of just like there, and it's got stuff all in it, so we just have to clean it out and then think about what we're gonna do. I think that that'll be easier once we know the gender, and then we can actually really plan, pick a paint color, pick what we're gonna do to the walls, and then from there on out, like, I mean, things, actual things like cribs and stuff will come probably in the later months. But I can't believe we're gonna have a nursery. Like, that was an office, and then we had a walk-in closet in our tiniest room, but we swapped things around. We took my husband's office, put it in the tiny room, took the closet out, made our real closets, and now it's gonna be a baby room. Other things I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to my husband putting the house back together, because I'll tell you about what projects and home renovations he's doing. So many. And definitely getting rid of stuff. Like getting rid of stuff that we don't need, and old stuff, but it's not even old, it's just things that we've accumulated that we just don't need anymore. So I want to either sell it or donate it or get rid of it, but I'd like to try and make some money on it. I think I'd be happier if it's just out of the house, so we'll see. Things I'm scared or nervous about, and I think I kind of touched on this earlier in the video, but the fact that you can't see, you can't feel, you can't touch, you just don't see anything actively going on, and my bump's not really popping yet. It is like a little nerve-wracking. You get the confirmation after an ultrasound or after listening to the fetal Doppler and hearing the heartbeat, but those weeks and days in between, you're just kind of like there, and I guess believing that everything's still going okay. So, I mean, everybody has that little bit of anxiety. I think that, hope it's all good, but I know that it's all good. I wear my necklace, I have my faith, and that's all you can think of. How has my husband been this week? He's been awesome. He has started so many home renovation projects. Since he works from home, it's easier for him to kind of juggle all of that and do work too. So his list of things he's been checking off, what he has completed in such a short amount of time, blows my mind. Pat on the back, Joe. But he has painted the living room, painted the kitchen cabinets, took them apart, put black hardware on now instead of our old silver, picked a countertop because he's going to do a new countertop, picked a new backsplash. We're going to do a white subway tile kind of backsplash. We also had the new like 3-inch white blinds for all the windows, and we have a big bay window, so he took the time to put them up and make sure that they were all the proper length, and I feel like that's enough, but I mean, he just keeps going. There's just so many things that he's done so far. He ordered lighting for under the countertop so that we would have nice lighting, like touch on and off lights. He painted all the trim in the living room and the kitchen, like repainted it white since it's, been about 5 years since it was done last. And on top of it, we have some pumps in the basement. They still need to be completely redone, but he spent the time down to fix them and rig them up and shoot the water out where it needs to be so it's not coming back into the house. That's just another thing that is on our plate that we have to finish before the baby comes. So he's hard at work this week, and I'm very, very proud of him. I've gotten emotional at times just because there's so many things that are changing so quick, and it's all good decisions. He's in the design world, so I mean, he's great with colors and picking things, and I trust his imagination for what he envisions our kitchen and everything to look like. The other day I walked in and he told me that we had accent walls in the house, but so he asked me again, I'm gonna do another accent wall. So I was like, okay, fine, just do it. So he decided not to tell me that he was painting it black. So being pregnant and walking in and just seeing a black wall and not knowing what his motivation for a black wall was, it just made me emotional to the point where I cried. I was like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at what you did. I'm just overwhelmed. It was all overwhelming, and then I had photos all up on the fridge the one day, and then one morning I know he was like, I want a clean fridge. I don't want all the clutter on it. We have photo frames for photos. So I just went and I took them all down, and I was playing this whole game in my head I'm gonna, fine, if he wants them down. And then I went to work and I was like in this emotional mess in my head, and I'm like, what am I doing? It's like he wouldn't even notice he would notice that they were off, but not like, oh, sorry, Heath, for making you do that, which it was the crazy game I was playing in my head. And then once I took the photos off, I looked at the fridge and I got all emotional again because I was like, it does look better without the mess on it. I think we'll keep the fridge mess free for now. So how my dog acts, I haven't talked about him in a few weeks, but he definitely is more and more affectionate. I find him coming up to me and just laying his little head on my lap and just looking at me, climbing up in the bed like usual, but just more and for no reason at all. Usually there has to be food around or something, but he just, this is my buddy. Can you see him? This is my honey bun. He's my honey bun, my little man. He's my little fur baby. My little baby man. Hi, bud. He's just up on the bed just hanging out while we make this video. Right, bud? You love me and you love the baby in my belly, right? Thanks again for watching my video. That's my recap of week 13. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Let's take a look at how my bump is progressing this week. So this is week 13, my baby bump. It's, this is after gaining an inch in the waist and 2 inches below the belly button. So, my belly.